Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Oxbridge Formula with the ultimate guide to colleges at Oxbridge. Today we're delighted to have Eduardo joining us, giving you a real
Hello.
insight into what it's living like at St. Catherine's College in Oxford. So it's great to have you here. Please tell us what subjects do you study and how long have you been at CATS?
So I'm currently doing biological sciences. I'm in my second year, going into my third year.
Cool, nice. So you're about halfway now. So you've got a bit of a feel for what it's like to live there. What would you say is like the defining characteristic of your college?
Um, I would say it's probably the people. We're very well known for being a people's college, and since we have the largest cohort per year, yeah, you get a really wide variety of people at CATS.
And how much does being at such a large college kind of impact on your university experience?
Um, I think it's I think it's amazing that you get this wide variety in perspective. So for me, for example, coming from Southeast London, where I'm sort of surrounded by the same environment constantly and the same sort of ideologies, coming to a place like CATS where you get people with such wide and varied views really opens your mind. And I've appreciated that. I really appreciate how much it's widened my perspective and taught me to basically listen to other people's views rather than just try to dismiss them, which is what I would have done before uni.
Wow, that's interesting. That's not something I would have expected. So I don't know, can you think of a time when that has happened where having other people's perspectives has really kind of opened up your eyes?
Yeah, so I think a lot of it would come with political views. Obviously, you don't want to get too much into that, but let's just say that I'm very sort of pro social mobility and pro cultural integration, and some people don't fully agree with that. Um, and I'm not saying that their opinion was fully wrong, but I do see where they're coming from. Um, and yeah, like initially I would have I tried just shutting them down by counteracting their arguments, but like over time I sort of just learned to be like, okay, like you think that way, let me show you this, rather than just try and shut them down. Like I feel like it doesn't do anything for me to tell you no, you're wrong. I'd rather like try and show you the way that I can, potentially, like you can potentially think and see it from our perspective. Yeah.
Wow, okay. And to what extent was that something you'd expected to gain from uni?
Not at all. I did have an expectation, obviously, being from like a comprehensive state school and stuff, that I was going to encounter some people who were probably going to think differently to me. But I thought, like coming to uni, that I was going to avoid them. Like I thought I could go around uni just not interacting with them if I didn't want to, especially at a place like CATS, because you have, like I said, such a big cohort. If you don't want to see someone, you don't have to. But instead, I think it's better for me to embrace it. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think that's how it varied in that sense.
Cool, nice. So, I mean, thinking about the whole politics thing, obviously in colleges and stuff, you have your own little democracy, like the student body, the JCR. Like, I mean, do you go along to JCR meetings very often, or is that not your kind of scene?
Do you know what? I don't go as much as I should, but I must say that like my JCR has been very supportive of many movements, and I think it very much listens to the body, not just the committee members. So like the few JCR meetings that I have been to, like everyone is very much able to share their point of view if they want to, which is amazing. So yeah, I do feel like I need to be involved a bit more. But a lot of the time it clashes with like when my essays are done. Like they're usually due in on a Monday or a Tuesday, and the JCR meetings are on a Sunday. So I'm not very organised, and I always end up sort of doing them last minute. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I can empathize about having deadlines the next day. It's kind of weighing up your priorities. So like how many of your friends have like been on JCR committee or anything? Do you know someone?
Yeah, so one of my closest guys in college, Tony Farah, shout out to him. He's the BAME officer, and he's been amazing at sort of in like I said, integrating culture and cultures. So when I say integrating culture, I mean within the college, and cultures, I mean creating events where people from various backgrounds can come together and just basically celebrate their cultures. And I feel like things like games with other colleges, so that interaction across colleges, not just within college, from his part has been amazing. So yeah.
Cool, nice. So like what college that you've kind of, had experience with or like interacted with would you say is like a real opposite to cats?
A real opposite. Oh, okay. I'm gonna have to go with Christchurch. I don't know loads about the college, but I do know some people who have had some pretty bad experiences when it comes to sort of being heard of, especially as an ethnic minority, or being, or like their college actually providing support for when they were calling out this lack of integration. So yeah, it's going to be Christchurch if I'm honest.
Yeah, some places like prestige and kind of, I don't know, the kind of postcard colleges, like reputation is more important in some places than it is at others. Like you say, at some places it is more about the people. So I
Yeah.
guess some people find some things more important and it really depends. So, I mean, I didn't know too much about your college myself, can't lie, being a Somervillian, but one of the things I have heard is it's like the concrete college. Like,
Yeah.
what particular thing kind of like drew you to like the Oxford Concrete College?
Um, so if I'm okay, I'm gonna be honest with you. When I was applying to colleges, because I didn't know anything, and there wasn't really anyone that from my school that had ever been to Oxford to tell me about colleges like that, or really anyone within the staff, like the staff members that could tell me about Oxford. I just went on the college website and like I closed my eyes and scrolled down and landed on cats, and then once it landed on cats, I was like, do you know what? Maybe this is destiny. And I looked at it, and I did enjoy the more modern vibe. I feel like I definitely prefer that to like the normal sort of like old looking type of Oxford College. And maybe people don't think it's very good looking, but I would say like new quad. So we have two quads. We have like an old quad, which is like the one that looks really ugly and that everyone gets onto. And then there's new quad, which is like bright, like literally brand new. And like I just saw the accommodation. I thought it was amazing. So I was like, oh, new quad was banging. And I thought I would wait, it weighed up. So
Yeah, and I mean, it's probably worth thinking about the fact that most colleges have like an ugly part. Like everyone has a breed to this building. It's just some are better at hiding it than others.
yeah, yeah, we're pretty out in the open about it. But yeah, besides that, to be fair, I did when like I said, when it landed on cats, when I closed my eyes and scrolled down, I did look at my tutors, and I found that my tutors were very important, because I knew that my tutors were going to be the people who were going to be setting me my weekly essays or whatever. So I wanted those tutors to be specialized in an area that I'm interested in within my subject. I didn't, for example, like doing biology. I'm more interested in like in disease and cellular biology. I didn't want to be doing many plants. So someone like Worcester would be more appropriate for someone who likes plants, but I didn't want that. So just seeing my tutors being sort of aligning with my interest was another really important thing.
That's cool. I think that's something that a lot of people don't consider. I wish I'd have had that idea when choosing a college. So you had like that kind of expectation of cats. So like, assuming that you interviewed there, like how much did it meet kind of what you expected?
Um, it was pretty close in the academic sense. Like it's very obviously rigorous. And one of my tutors is a lot stricter than the rest, and I did think it was going to be that sort of dynamic. And obviously, for interviews, you sort of get a taste of that because your tutors are the ones that interview you, and the one that is the most sort of strict, she was the one that was giving me the hardest time during interviews, and I was literally like, because we have 3 tutors, and they both the 3 of them were giving us the interview. You sit there, and she's like trying to get you to flop, like she's trying to get you to say something wrong, and you could see she was trying to trip you out the whole time. I'm just like, okay, you're trying to get me to, but she's actually like, once, like at first you're like, I was really scared of like speaking in her shoots and stuff, just because I just found it really, really scary, because these people are top of their field, and they're not just, it's not just in the UK, like it's worldwide. So like these people are the best of the best. But once you get to know them on like a personal level, you realize that they are humans and they have a good side to them, and it's just not a facade, but like when it's work time, it's work time, and then when you're chilling, you're chilling. It's 2 different things.
Yeah, God, I can barely imagine that interview. That's the kind of stuff you have nightmares about. But
Trust me, it's honestly. I had a question. I was asked by her. Like the first thing she said to me was, "What's your favorite molecule?" And in my head, I was like, "What do you mean?" Like, yeah, I couldn't show that, so I was like, and I was stuttering. I was like, and we had just recently like learned about like water transport in plants. I just said water, and then I realized that water is not even like that. So I was like, okay. And she was like trying to explain to me, like she was trying to ask me more about it. She was like, oh, what's so interesting about water, and like what properties? And then she was trying to get me into the chemistry, and I had a non-chemistry since year 10. And she was just questioning, and she just kept going and kept pushing. And I guess that's what you'd expect at an Oxbridge interview, to be pushed. And she just kept going until like eventually she was just like, she heard me say something. She was just like, yeah, you're just waffling. She was like, let's move on. So yeah, it's tough, but yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know, being pushed is a good sign, so it's promising.
Yeah, exactly.
So like, what did you stay there? Like, what quad were you like staying on?
I was one of the unfortunate ones to stay in old quad, which is not as nice as new quad. And I say that because old quad, like the rooms are okay. You have like 3 types of rooms. So you have very few ensuite rooms, and then you have either a sink room, which is like, it's got less storage space, but it's bigger, and obviously it has a sink. And then you have what's called a box room, which has like a proper wardrobe and like more storage space, but it's smaller. And during interviews, I stayed in a sink room, and I thought it was all right. That wasn't terrible. But during first year, I actually had a box room. And I'm someone who like has loads of stuff in their room. Like my room is packed, so it did at times get a bit claustrophobic.
So like your second room, how did that compare? Did you get an upgrade or did you move out?
Second year room.
Mm-hmm.
So second year, so the way it works at Cats is first year you're an old quad, then second year you're guaranteed new quad, and in new quad everything is perfect. Like it's just amazing. It's every room is en suite, and you do have slight differences in sizes, but they're still very good. They're very modern. like the beds are bigger as well, because oh my days, beds in old quad are like 3/4 of a single, because even though it's like the newest college, like I'm not 100% sure how true this is, but apparently like the guy who basically designed old quad and everything, like he made sure that students had very limited space, so that only they could sleep in that bed, if that makes sense. Um, and yeah, but new quad, like beds are bigger, ensuite, and in summer we got like a little punt house where we can rent like punts for very cheap, and new quad is right next to them, so it's just yeah.
Oh, that's sweet. So like, do you back onto the chair well?
Yeah, yeah. So you can literally. I'm pretty sure it leads on to. I'm not 100% sure. I think it leads on to uni parks. And yeah, you can literally just punt along. And punting, honestly, in Oxford is amazing. Like, especially in summer,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
to advise.
Yeah, it's the kind of stuff that like you imagine and look forward to when you hear that you go into Oxford, you know.
Trust me, it is. It fully is.
Crazy. So apart from like the punting, how convenient have you found like the location of the college?
I have mixed feelings. It's good for me because it's relatively close to my department. So like I could walk to my department and be there in about 5-10 minutes max. Whereas I know some people whose department are like across central Oxford. So for them, it's like it would be a solid 15 to 20 minute walk. The really, really annoying thing is going to shop. So St. Catherine's is relatively far from Tesco's. Like it's like a 15, maybe 20 minute walk from Tesco. So it's just not what you want with bags. But if you have a bike, like everything's pretty close. So yeah.
Fairs, you got to weigh it up. I think I'd kind of prefer to go on like a Tesco trek than like get up half an hour before lectures and stuff. So
Yeah, yeah. But bear in mind, some people don't really have that. I know lawyers, like they're literally, you step out of CATS and the law faculty is right there in the law library. So in that sense, like lawyers are, like, they've got the best case scenario.
nice. Okay. So I mean, thinking about like you talking about the accommodation and stuff inside the college. Um,
Mm.
like obviously you must have like shared spaces that you can all go to. So like, what's kind of your favorite place to kind of meet people inside the college?
It's definitely our JCR. So our JCR and our bar are like linked. So a lot of people go down there, especially if there's like big football matches going on, like big sports events going on. Like people will go down and it will literally be like the whole JCR just filled with like chairs and stuff, and everyone's watching. Like for example, for the Champions League final last year, it was a massive game, and everyone was just there. And obviously, you get like such a good group vibe. And even if there's not like something big going on, like in the JCI, we've got like pool tables, darts, sofas, and people generally go there to like chill. Like after a long day of work, like let's say 7-8 p.m., people will go down there for like a few hours to chill. So yeah.
Sweet. And like, what's your, you say like the bar is linked, like what would your standard order be? I don't know.
At my bar,
Yeah.
uh, depends how big the night is. If it's a chill night, I'll get pineapple juice with vodka. It's honestly, I'm gonna put everyone on. If you are over 18 and allowed to drink, vodka with pineapple juice is so relaxing and is amazing. But if it's a big night, then I'll have a college special called a crummock, which is it's a big boy drink. Let's just say that it's a big boy drink.
Is it like big boy price or is like pretty reasonable?
It's £5, but I think like it's a pint, um, and like based on its contents, I would say it's a reasonable price. It does the job.
See, okay, I'll take notes. And I mean, I saw and I think it was like an Oxlove post yesterday. It was about like cat students to say I know a place and then take you to see the weird cutlery on their high table. Um, can you explain what is this?
I'm not. You know what? Like I've heard about this, but I've never actually sat on high table. But like some of my friends who have, um, I don't really know what it's about. It's just it seems to be like quite weird and fancy. Um, but I've never actually like used it or seen it myself. Um, so yeah, it's weird that one.
So like standard, but just like more posh. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Like I'm not. I'm genuinely not sure what it is. Like what that makes it so weird.
Yeah, well, that makes two of us, so that's cool. So, like, on a standard, like, I don't know, casual hall day, like, how often do you eat in hall with friends?
I usually do like I don't cook as much because I can't be asked. If I'm honest, I feel like I don't know why. I just don't feel like I ever have the time. I don't know how people find the time to cook like that, but yeah, I usually go for lunch and dinner. I don't really go for breakfast though. So yeah, they offer breakfast. There's something called butlery, which is like a cheaper breakfast at a later time, which is where like whatever's left over from breakfast just really goes at a reduced price. Um, so that's sometimes I used to go to that if like after breakfast and then coming back from lectures I was still hungry. I just pop in, get a couple hash browns, get some beans, get a couple eggs, just a quick snack before lunch.
Wow, that's absolutely mad. And, like, are any of your mates, like, vegetarian? I mean, I am. So, like, would I be able to come along? Or,
Yeah, so one of my best friends in college, he's vegan, and it, the Cats Hall offers a variety of vegetarian meals, I would say, but vegan meals are a bit more limited still. They're doing their best to like improve it, but they're still quite inconsistent. Like I feel like some days they go like all out and have like two your even three options where like they'll have things like what was one because I've tried some of it because I've tried going vegan. They would have like vegan burgers or like vegan sausages, vegan sausage rolls. Oh my days, vegan sausage rolls. Oh, the vegan sausage rolls are amazing. But then you'd have like some weeks where you just have like straight like vegan curry the whole week, and it'll just be like, can you space it out properly? Because yeah, but no, they are definitely, and it's definitely a thing that is talked about in that JCR meetings that like vegan meals should be improved. But they're all right. Like you'd be able to find something vegetarian for yourself or vegan.
yeah, I guess you just gotta pick your days right.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, sweet. And, like, the like other kind of main college feature that's probably worth talking about is the library. I mean, as a science student, I don't know how much you'd use the library, but like talk me through what is it like?
So our library is pretty good actually. There's quite a lot of space, so you sort of come in and you have a downstairs area, and that's where most of like the science and medical books are. And then there's like these really like sick swirly stairs that take you upstairs. And you basically have like seating all along the windows, which is really nice because I don't know about you, but like when I'm working, I like to have a lot of light coming in. I feel like otherwise I just slump off. But yeah, so and then we've also got a computer room in there, and we've got like these two rooms where you can do group work. So like where the walls have like massive whiteboards that basically you almost got from top to bottom. So if you want to do group work, you can do it in there. Um, Yeah.
That sounds pretty sweet. And I like the idea of sitting by the window, like just to see
Ye-
normality and the outside world.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Nice stuff. So yeah, what do you have like I don't know what are your grounds like? Do you have gardens or like a quads or
Yeah, so I've already mentioned that we have like a old and a new quad.
Mhm.
New quad has actually just been finished, being renovated, and they've added like some more of that new accommodation that I was talking about, and a brand new graduate center where I'm guessing like the MCR, the mature for mature students and postgrads, where they're going to be able to chill, and I think they're going to have some like space for themselves because currently we sort of share like libraries and stuff like that. Um, but besides that, like we have like a very nice sort of small pond that goes alongside our concrete grounds, as people call it, or whatever. And we have our own like music house and gym. So those are like pretty popular places because being such a like college in terms of people, you have to sort of cater to everyone's like needs, and a lot of people are very sporty. Like Cats is a very sporty college, so that's sort of what the gym is for. And then um, I guess to an extent we're quite creative because we also have like drama shows and music shows that we put out throughout the year, and that students can and to an extent are encouraged to um, sort of present to the student body throughout the year. So yeah.
sweet, yeah, it rings a couple of bells because I remember like doing drama couples tournament like at the start of my first year. I think cats were like one of our main rivals, so it sounds about right. But like, which category do you fall into? You like the sporty type or like the artsy type?
Um, I like to think I'm the sporty type, so because I play for the college team. So we have for football because that's the main sport I play. I used to play uni, but it was good and it was very competitive. But it's like where they train and like matches, it just takes a lot of your time, and I don't think I was willing to commit that much because I just like it's uni football, like relax, like I still want to be doing my degree and I want to be doing other social things. Like it's not just like football. So then I just decided to start playing for all three college teams. There's three college football teams for males, um, and there's a female football team uh, as well. So like sometimes we do like events where like third team would play against the girls. Third team being like a really like generally it's just for fun. Like people go there who've never played football before. So like it's just nice. Like there's a level of competition, but at the same time, it's just a nice vibe because you're pretty much like on a well, not everyone, but like on a general um, basis, you're on a good vibe with everybody. So just to be able to like sort of mess around in a different context, because it's not always like it kind of gets tiring that sort of like university party or like formal dinners. Like they're amazing, but it's just nice to have a different social context where you can still have fun with people. If that makes sense. I feel like sports is what provides that at Cats.
Yeah, and I totally agree with your point about like having time to like really vigorously train and stuff like that. It's just not
Yeah, exactly.
unless you're like really committed to sport and stuff. It's really hard. Like I know that's what I like about doing college netball, for example. Like we just turn up to whatever match we can make. You play against like another college, you win
Yeah.
or you lose. So you kind of get best of both. Like
Do you have any main rivalries like as a college team? Are there any team that you look forward to playing to? Like it's a big like El Clasico derby type of vibe.
I mean, for us, I guess it's mainly like we live opposite Anne's, like St. Anne's are on the other side of like the road, and we often have like a joint bop or something. So like
Mm.
whenever we see them, like regardless of whatever it is, like,
Yeah.
but
Yes.
no, not really. I think like, you know how you said about like kind of your polar opposite being like Christchurch and stuff like that. I guess
Mm.
we're kind of the same. I mean, we're smaller, but again, we're more of like a kind of liberal college.
Mm.
And when like there's those big like traditional ones like Brasenose or somewhere like that, you do get a bit more competitive. I think like you feel like you got a point to prove. I don't know. Like
Yeah.
how much time do you have to go to the gym or stuff like that?
I think you can definitely fit into your day. Like, usually on a usual day, I would have maybe 2 lectures in the morning. Then I'd have some free time to do some work before lunch. After that, maybe I might have a tute um, or a lab. If there's a lab, then that's a really long day because labs tend to be like 3 hours for biology. Um, but like once you, like I guess it's about measuring how much work you've got that week or that day, and you can always shuffle stuff around. But yeah, and I find it pretty easy to sort of incorporate football or gym or whatever into my daily routine.
Yeah, I'm starting to see what you mean when you say you don't have time to do cooking on top of all that. It's kind of nice to have the horse to fall back on.
Yeah, definitely, definitely.
And like you said about kind of the kind of party in life can be a bit tiring, as you
Mm.
know, especially on like an Oxford kind of tight schedule. But like when you did kind of have a night to yourself, like what would your ideal night out look like?
Night out.
Mm.
Um, I can't lie. I've had this debate, yeah, and I feel like it always varies depending on the term. I feel like Michaelmas and like the first half of Hillary term, I'm a big Park End guy. So Wednesday night is a big night for me. Usually, especially because there's not often there's usually like only 2 lectures on the Thursday, so no labs and no tutes. So my brain can take a bit of a break. But yeah, it would usually like start getting ready around 7:30, 8-ish. No, that's a lie actually, 8:30-ish. And we start socializing, have some little games here and there, go down to the bar, see who else is going out as well, and sort of gather a little group, and just gas each other up. That's what we do. But we also try to recruit people where we can. So we do this thing. We only started doing it this year. It's kind of stupid, but like if we really want someone to go out, we'll just say, "Oh, do you know what? Let's flip a coin. Let's flip a coin, and if it lands on heads, you go out. If it lands on tails, you can stay." And I've actually found that it really does work. Like it fully, like when you are proper feeling it, it will tell you to go out. And when you're like, "Oh, I kind of want it, but at the same time, I'm not really feeling it," then it will tell you to stay. I also know some people who do this weird thing where they all get um, like one time a term where they can tell people within their own group that they all have to go out. So like they have this sort of lifeline once a term where they can choose any night they want, and no matter if you want to go out or not, if that person says you have to go out, you go out. And we don't enforce that in our group, but I have heard people do that, which I find kind of jokes, but yeah.
It's kind of crazy. It sounds like, you know, a night's not worth having if you're not spending it like with your mates, which is quite good.
Yeah, exactly. Wait, hold on, my charger.
It's chill, don't die.
Yeah, I'm about to run out of battery, so there you
Cool,
go.
cool. So, okay, we're back. So, like, would you recommend, thinking of where Cats is, would you recommend that people walk to Park End, like on the other side?
Um, do you know what? The walk there tends to be quite fun, because we tend to take a little speaker, um, and the little, like, it's literally, I don't know if you know them, they're like, UE booms,
Boom.
Yeah. So it's one of those small ones, and literally it fits into like a coat pocket. And we'll take it. And we'll just be playing tunes on the way to the club. Um, I don't know. That kind of vibe is always good. But if it's raining, we'll definitely take a taxi. Like, yeah, and just split it, which will be like £1-2 between everyone.
Yeah,
So
it's chill. And
yeah.
like, I mean, I know that colleges tend to have like a kebab van, which they're quite
Mm.
tied to. What's yours?
Do you know what? A lot of people in my college would say Hassan's, but I don't run with it, if I'm honest. I don't run with Hassan's, no. Because I'm from London, yeah. I've experienced a certain like level of chicken and chips or like burger and chips. To me, Hassan's is not that amazing. And that's going to trigger a lot of people, but it's not that great. I'm more of a Brano's guy. These guys are a low-key van. They're basically found, you know where Kebab King is? So what's that little market called again?
What, the covered market or?
Yeah. So they're literally, that's where they're found, and they do this thing called the Worcester Special, because obviously they're right next to Worcester,
Mhm.
and the Worcester Special is like yeah, chips with like this these cut out pieces of like chicken strips with cheese on top, and then sauces, but it's for only like £4, something like that. But it's like their chicken is quality. Like it's the first, like it's like when I ask for spice, usually I don't really get it in Oxford. These guys provide the spice and the sauce I need. Honestly, Branos, yeah, that's the
So
one
we're
for me.
taking that detour and also risking offending everyone.
Nah, what? No, it's not. No, no, it's on the way back. No.
First, okay, nice. I'll have to check it out. It's a new one for me. I can't lie. I'm more of like a Solomon's kind of girl.
I'll
It's
rate
like
Solomon's
straight
though. I'll rate
Oxford.
Solomon's. Yeah, Solomon's is a good
It's
shout.
all right for like chips and gravy or falafel. You're
Mm.
sorted. It's okay. So, what about like parties inside the college? Like, how do your bops work?
Yeah, bops. We call them ants. I don't actually
Oh,
know
okay.
why, but we call them ants. And yeah, they're usually in the JCR, which once again is really sick because our JCR and our bar are joined. Um, so usually before the actual uh, bop starts, we will have like um, karaoke, and that's like usually like when people would just literally go down, and there's happy hour and like cheaper drinks. Um, I don't usually go do that. I tend to be one of the ones that come later because we tend to do stuff like within our own group, like in our staircase. Um, so yeah, but there's crew dates, then there's the whole ends. I think it will go up to like 1:30, maybe 2. Um, and then after that, everyone sort of gets kicked out. Well, we all tend to go to this one staircase, which is staircase 14, because staircase 14 has these tables, and it's in Old Quad, and it's sort of like where everyone pre-drinks during first year. And this year we were on really good terms with like the freshers, and they had so much energy and stuff, so we got along so well that my group of friends and the freshers there would all go back to 14 and just basically carry on until someone comes and tells us to like, you know, stop it, guys, stop it, relax a little bit. But yeah, and Sorrow is amazing. Like it's amazing to see what people come up with, like dressing up. um I remember probably one of my favorite themes. Um, it would have been great duos. So you would have had to like partner up with someone and dress up with like an amazing duo. And with the guy I was talking about earlier, Drew, shout out Drew. He was Patrick and I was SpongeBob. I think we nailed that one. So yeah, like it's just sick. It's so creative, and it's not even like you have to spend a lot of money on your costume or like a lot of time. Well, some people do spend a lot of time, but like sort of like the wackier the better, um, and it's just a good vibe.
Yeah, no one really cares. It's the effort. It's the effort that counts.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, insert photo here of Patrick and SpongeBob walking around cats. That's great. And
Yeah.
like it's really cool to hear about like you guys mixing with the freshers and like going to kind of the older accommodation, which I don't know, from my experience I found that like the less kind of fancy the accommodation, usually the more social it is.
Yeah, no, definitely. Because actually, yeah, that's really true. Because in New Quad, um, so by second year, you choose who you're going to live with in your staircase. So if you're living with your friends, you basically spend all your time in your staircase, and you don't really worry about walking around New Quad and like going to other people's staircases unless you're like really close friends with them and actually like go out of your way to see them. Whereas in New Quad, just walking out of your staircase, you might actually see people, and you actually engage in more conversations that way with people you don't usually spend time with or talk to. So yeah, no, that's definitely true for cats.
Yeah, so there's always a positive twist. I don't know. I lived in I mean you've probably seen Vaughan in Somerville, and it's like
Yeah.
yeah, it's like Somerville does cats. It's like brutalist concrete. It's great stuff. So
Mhm.
when like you were, I don't know, moving in, like you had your freshers and you were kind of in their situation a couple of years back, like how did the college welcome you? How did it feel?
To be fair, I felt very welcome. I think the college made sure that we were able to know people in the years above. So in Old Quad, I've mentioned how that's where you live as a fresher, but that's also where you would live as a third year. So first and third years are sort of put together. So like in the staircase I lived in, there's some staircases which are all freshers, but I lived in a staircase that had some third years in it. And it was just nice to see someone who was like sort of mature in the college and who knew about like the places to go or and chill with, like the good times to go to hall, or like the good days where the menu's better, and just sort of to have that friendly face around, because like you wouldn't really get freshers interacting with third years a lot, but I feel like once you're forced to sort of live with them, like that kind of changes the story a little bit. So yeah, I really enjoy that. And besides that, you also have like college parents. Um, my college parents were amazing. I feel like our JCR made it like quite. Now they made sure that our parents were sort of talking to us and introducing us to things and basically easing us into the college life. So yeah.
Oh, sweet. So like yeah, I think the college parent system is really important, and like you said, if it's mixing with like third years as well, it's just that general like getting an impression and some advice from somebody who's got that experience that you kind of lack at that point can be so
Mm.
valuable. Like, what is the most kind of, I don't know, valuable thing that you kind of learned from your college parents or whoever?
Um, my college dad is just good at everything. Like he's just a machine. I don't know how he does it. So he plays football as well. He plays for the first team at Cats. He's sick academically. Like I'm pretty sure he got a first in first and second year, and I'm pretty sure he got a first in third year. Uh, he was just so involved in sports and academic stuff, and he just literally felt like he couldn't do anything wrong. And he would just literally give me tips, especially academic tips to like, for example, writing our first essays, which is I think the hardest when you're transitioning into um, that sort of narrative of having to go beyond just looking at a single book and like having to actually research all of these papers, and especially for something like biology, getting a wide enough variety of references and stuff like that. He just told me like the sites to go, like the people to look out for different modules. And he also sent me like his notes for like first year lectures, which definitely like saved me. um, so yeah, in that sense, he was just a good support to have around.
So, I mean, have you been able to pass some of that advice down?
I've tried, but my college kids, and I'm really upset about this, my college kids are like not, I don't want to say dead because that's mean, but they're not, I just feel like they don't like me. Like, I don't know why. I genuinely don't know why. Like, it's been times where like one of my college son has been walking past me and I'll be like, oh, yo, man, what are you saying? He will look at me and look away and keep on walking. And I would just be like, so I'm like, what, bro? What are you saying? What have I done to you? Like, I'm just out here trying to be friendly. And yeah, I feel like the college kids situation is a bit. But if they did ever like need help and they did ever come to me, then I would. But it's not been the case.
Oh, that's sad. I mean, I hope they appreciate the effort. Maybe they found out they're adopted. I don't know.
We are
Yeah.
so excited. We also had a visiting student. So the same way you get students that generally are at Oxford and they're there for the whole 3 years, 4 years, or whatever. You also get students from abroad that your parents to. And the first almost second year had an amazing visiting student from America, and she was so lit. Like she was just she had energy. She was like willing to talk, and she was out of all of our kids, she was the only one to come to family halls, like family formal halls that we'd arrange, which is really sad. But yeah, like it's sad to see our best kid leave after a term.
Shit. Okay, bye. I was going to say the children they grow up so fast. It's very sad when they fly the nest. But and they can you tell me a bit about like a more positive like what's your favorite kind of formal experience been?
Um, it would have to be one of the cats nights probably. So usually cats does like a hall every day, but it's not like very formal. So like it's called a formal, but it's basically you have people serving you food and stuff, and you have like special meals, but you don't have to dress up or anything or like wear your gown or anything. Whereas in cats night is like a big night where you dress up nice and proper, make sure you're looking good, very good, and it's right before an end, and you have the long ass table filled. You have high table that is filled and have a 3-course meal. Usually, I don't know why I haven't got it to this day, but I always keep eating someone else's bread. So you're given loads of cutlery, and apparently you're meant to start from the outside and then go inside, and then the one up here is meant to be for your dessert. I don't know why. I keep thinking that my bread is the one that's closest to me, but apparently it's the one that's on the left or something like that, or the other way around or something. But yeah, like, yeah, I just keep thinking someone else's bread. But Cat's Eye is huge. Like everyone pretty much gets a ticket, and even if you don't, like, we tend to do like fake crew dates or like BTEC crew dates in our own staircases where we'll still dress up and we'll have like a huge takeaway, and we'll just have like the classic crew date rules, which for anyone that doesn't know is basically when you go to a restaurant and there's a set of games that you have to carry out throughout the night, and if you don't follow them or don't follow the rules, you have to drink essentially. But yeah, it's definitely Cat's Night for me.
Sweet. It sounds like quite an occasion. So going back for like your third year now, like what would you say is the thing that you're most looking forward to?
I'm very excited about getting more involved with other colleges. I feel like I feel like I've experienced it some other colleges a little bit more, but I've never actually like been to a formal in another college, for example, which I think is quite weird because I feel like a lot of people would have done that by now. I definitely want to get more involved with things like podcasting and chairwork. Currently, for example, I'm part of their video team, so I wanna have a greater presence in the sort of social media and try and make as much of an impact as I can with that media with regards to this idea of social mobility and cultural integration that I'm so passionate about. So yeah.
Oh, that sounds so cool. We'll leave you a link in the description below.
I'm actually, I don't know if you know, I didn't know until like a couple months ago, but there's a student radio called Oxide Radio.
Oxide.
I didn't know about it. So I'm going to be applying for a little podcast on there, hopefully, which if it's approved will be a massive W. Where I'll be discussing some issues faced by diversity students, not just in Oxford, but in other unis across the UK. So if I can do that, that'll be amazing. And that's what I'm most excited about, I think.
That sounds great. Yeah, I'll definitely be tuning in for that one. But it's all kicking off in like the third year. God, as if you didn't have enough to do already.
Yeah, I don't know. Second year was a bit more. First year, I didn't do anything. Like I did football and that's it. And I feel like I was very committed to socialising. And yeah, I was going out like pretty much every day in first year. I was very active. So second year I've been a bit less active. Obviously workload has gone up, but I've also been getting involved in other stuff like the Latino Society over at Oxford Brooks and stuff like that. So yeah, third year I really want to be focused on like really inducing as much an impact as I can.
Sweet. So, yeah. It sounds like the right kind of balance to me. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's realistic. Thanks so much for joining us today and like sharing this amazing insight into life at St. Catherine's College. But I really hope that like people will have learned as much about it as I have from the other side of town. So
yeah, hopefully. And if there's hold on. I don't know if there's like a place where they can ask questions or if it's just like they'll just comment and you guys will answer it, or
probably like comment. Yeah.
Yeah, if you guys have any other questions about how CATS works or even certain courses that CATS offers, because not every college does offer the same courses, then yeah, I guess leave a comment down below and we can help.
Sweet stuff. Oh, thank you so much for giving us your time, and see you again soon.